Hey friends. Come back with us in the anime gallery. Continue Part 2 Part 4 Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken Volume 15. Time of Despair. The Spirit of a Gazelle King. Before continuing the discussion, please help this channel by pressing the subscribe, like and comment button, so that this channel can continue to grow and we can be even more enthusiastic about updating your favorite anime. Happy listening. I said, you really hate us. Wouldn't it make sense that the demons wouldn't break their pact? You won't turn around because you can't beat them. That means, there are indeed some people among the demons who can negotiate. Be serious and look for people who might also act to gain an advantage. But it's impossible to make me betray my master. Each of the three spilled their hearts. And in order to exude displeasure in their hearts, they all attacked Velgrynd. This attack, which was full of maximum power, instantly damaged Velgrynd, and Velgrynd's other body consumed 9% of mana as a result. The deal was broken. Really. I'm sorry. Really. Forgive me. Separating the new other body, Velgrynd laughed lowly and ruthlessly. And then the time for annihilation began. Gazelle and the others veered through the true red pillar, which was raining blood, gravity collapse, and prepared to attack the place where Kagali was performing her ritual. If it gets too close, the celestial knights will be trapped by the gravitational waves. And it is the duty of the predecessor leader, Dwarf, to guard the area. Still, this is nothing to worry about. The surroundings. On the ground, the battle between Testarossa and the others and Velgrynd seemed to have started. But the true red pillar was still alive and well. Understanding this fact, Gazelle couldn't help but feel a chill run down her back. Even though she didn't show his cowardly side and shouted instead, unbelievable. It's Velgrynd. To be able to distinguish a clone of the same level as the main body. What else could happen other than a nightmare? But don't be afraid. We also have powerful reinforcements that break common sense. Gazelle's voice was conveyed to the knights. The majesty of the spirit, the solemnity of the voice, dispelled everyone's fear. Gazelle actually felt fear in his heart too. In the face of this overwhelming presence, even the sages have few ways they can go. And even if they want to fight back, the power distance is too great. But Gazelle doesn't give up. The sense of duty as a king makes Gazelle's heart melt. Strong. More importantly, the reinforcements sent by the pampered senior brother had taught him that it was too early to despair. The trio of demon girls currently fighting weren't as good as Velgrynd by the amount of mana, but they were still sufficient dare to challenge their opponent, who is almost 100 times stronger. Cuckoo. Seeing them like that, how can I, as the king, say something pitiful? Gazelle's strong inner promise, and Gazelle's enlightenment affected his companions and knights, and by the time they reached their goal, all the fear in everyone's heart had disappeared. The true red pillar also achieved its goal. It was an open meadow big enough to throw away by a large army. The ground was dyed bright red with blood. This is the end of the road for the hybrid legion of shady bidding. There are probably close to 100 people in the land. One of the men in a very flashy uniform, and that is Lieutenant Kondo, releasing an overwhelming sense of presence. He looked at Gazelle. The others were footmen, Tiga, and over 30 comrades, Yuki, together with nearly 50 people from the Near Guard Knights. Emperor. They protected Kagali scattered around if the ceremony was disturbed. Around Kondo's side, one could also see people in uniform, who were employees of the Intelligence Bureau, and these people were also from the Emperor's Near Guard Knights, which meant that the people here were basically the group with the strongest fighting power in the Empire. In terms of position, Kagali is at the outer edge of Velgrynd, drinking in blood and rain, burying their heads in the ritual. Velgrynd, on the other hand, stands on the sidelines as if placing, after spreading out on the other side of the true red dragon. He came to this side to avoid the magic that was blocked by the demon girl trio. Even if it's Velgrynd, it's too busy to sustain magic that big with just one clone. As a result, Velgrynd doesn't seem to be moving either, looking like he's watching from the sidelines. Gazelle confirmed the above situation. Then, with a relaxed attitude, he began to descend, until welcoming Gazelle, who landed, and the others. It's Kondo. I'm honored to meet King Gazelle, who has the reputation as a hero. Kondo Tatsuya doesn't care to say it. Gazelle snorted and raised his sword. You are Head of the Imperial Intelligence Service. Lieutenant Kondo. Funny. You are the information eater. Funny. I will be your opponent. Quickly draw your sword. Gazelle feels Kondo's power. With glances and moments of confrontation to try Thinkred decide, won't work. And that alone is enough to consider him an equal himself. Others and avoided to hinder me. You guys too. This person can't be handled by anyone but me. Seeing the comrades who had joined in to sponsor the fight, Gazelle also spoke up. Jane, who immediately respond to Gazelle's orders. That's right. We can't handle that one. We should at least get rid of those who get in the way so King Gazelle can concentrate on his fight. Dwarf echoes Jane's judgment. Understood. Everyone, listen. Quantitatively key ta more. But don't underestimate the opponent's strength. Air war in groups of 5. Seeing the enemy and giving precise instructions. The Knights of the Order were good at overhead attack tactics. But this time, they used the numerical advantage to mobilize the opponent's battle plan. Is it Yuki's comrade or the Imperial Emperor's Order of the Near Guard? Their strength is comparable to the immortal level. The so-called immortal level, when converted according to the threat level set by the free combination, is equivalent to the upper level of the special A level, which can match the power of a top-tier mage. If you continue to cultivate, you will be able to reach the level of Demon Lord C. And not too much to call it a hero. Dwarf's army, along with Tenma, had finally reached level A, and Dwarf himself had reached the level of immortal. Not how true Dwarf's judgment was, but a keen sense of the dangers of the attempt enemy war. Even though the odds were higher than against Velgrynd, you could still say it was difficult to put up a decent fight. That's why such instructions were given, and their aim was not to annihilate the enemy. Using the advantage of flying in the air to annoy the enemy and thus stall for time was Dwarf's true goal. In order to keep Gazelle unimpeded, the Heavenly Knights properly understood this intention and reacted immediately. Believe in your Majesty's victory. I will complete my own mission. Besides, reinforcements will be back soon. Dwarf judged so. His judgment was confirmed in a swift voice. Ha 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 ha, I'm a little late. This big man is heavier than I thought. It took a lot of work to get here. Get on the big ship of my generation and enjoy this battle. That's Gabble. Phew, you're so handsome. Gabil-sama. That's right, I'm getting more and more manly. I'll follow you all the way. Be aware. And Gabble's minions, the flying dragon holding a chain in his hand, is attached to a big thing. That big thing is the Floor Guardian Colossus, which was transported by 100 people through human air. Nothing's wrong with the Floor Guardian Colossus statue waiting for the enemy to arrive in the labyrinth. But to get to the battlefield, the huge body is a bit of a hindrance. Although its fighting ability is perfect, but its movement speed is really slow.